Americans love pickles. So much so that we devour more than 9 billion of them every single year, nearly 20 pounds of pickles per person annually. Whether they're stacked on burgers, served alongside deli sandwiches, or eaten straight from the jar in the middle of the night, pickles are more than just a snack in America. Today, we're taking a behind-the-scenes journey into a modern U.S. pickle factory, exploring the incredible process that takes cucumbers from farm to jar. It all begins in the fields of California, where the Central Valley's Mediterranean climate, mild winters, long sunny days, and nutrient-rich soil makes it one of the most productive cucumber-growing regions in the country. Cucumbers are harvested when they're between 5 and 10 centimeters long, and while it may sound quaint, the harvesting process is anything but. Sophisticated machines do the job of hundreds of workers, using vibrating arms, cutting blades. Once a machine's bin is full, it pulls alongside a transport truck, and the hydraulic system unloads the cucumbers with care to prevent bruising. From there, the cucumbers are transported to a processing plant where the real magic begins. At the factory, trucks are weighed and inspected before unloading their cargo into hoppers. A quick visual check is done to remove damaged or deformed produce. Then the cucumbers enter a washing system where high-pressure jets and rotating brushes scrub away any soil, debris, or insects. They move along conveyor belts through automated sorters that separate them by size, an essential step to ensure uniform pickling. Next, the sorted cucumbers are transferred into massive fermentation tanks filled with a brine solution made of water, salt, vinegar, and spices. This brine not only gives pickles their signature flavor, but also acts as a natural preservative. Inside these tanks, the cucumbers undergo natural fermentation over the course of 3 months. However, fermentation also raises the salt content significantly, up to 4 times that of seawater. To make them edible again, the pickles are moved into hot water baths where excess salt is leached out gradually. Fresh water is cycled in repeatedly over a 24-hour period until the salt concentration reaches a more palatable 2%. During this step, turmeric is often added, not for flavor, but for color. The golden spice gives pickles their signature yellow-green hue without altering their taste. All pickles are aligned inside cutting machines fitted with wavy, crinkle-cut blades that deliver consistent, textured slices. These ridged cuts aren't just aesthetic. They help retain brine and maximize crunch. Sliced pickles are then funneled into jars by automated machines that portion out the perfect amount. To ensure a tight vacuum seal, steam is injected into the jars just before they're capped. The steam forces air out, and as the jars cool, a vacuum forms under the lid, preserving freshness. That pop you hear when opening a jar? That's the seal releasing, a sign that the vacuum process worked. Every jar then passes under sensors that check for air pockets or faulty seals. Immediately after, they are cooled in water baths to stop the cooking process and maintain the crisp texture of the pickles. With the pasteurization complete, jars are labeled with brand names, nutritional information, and expiration dates. They're grouped into boxes or trays and moved to climate-controlled storage rooms until they're shipped across the country. Thanks to this massive, streamlined operation, some U.S. pickle factories produce more than 500 tons of pickles every day. That's over 500,000 jars daily. Pickles can stay shelf-stable and retain their flavor and texture for up to 2 years. Though for most pickle lovers, they don't last anywhere near that long. The jelly bean is a colorful treat, loved by children, dentists, and corrupt politicians alike. While widely accepted as candy, few people realize the disturbing, sugar-coated truth behind its origins. No one knows exactly when the jelly bean was invented. Today, jelly beans come in dozens of colors, all of which manage to taste equally suspicious. Scientists have tried to crack the flavor code, but every attempt has led to burnout, mental breakdowns, or spontaneous tooth decay. Production begins inside an enormous industrial-grade facility that could easily double as a military bunker. Massive kettles heat sugar to a scalding 347 degrees Fahrenheit, a temperature hot enough to caramelize your hopes and dreams. Into this molten sugar bath goes pectin, starch, food coloring, artificial flavors, and, depending on the shift supervisor, a splash of moral compromise. As robotic arms stir the liquid, it thickens into a sticky syrup resembling liquid ambition. It is then poured into trays lined with starch molds, which give jelly beans their signature shape, somewhere between an oval, a kidney, and a cartoon teardrop. Once filled, the trays are sent off to a drying room. That's where the legal story ends. But across the factory, things take a more creative turn. A select batch of the candy finds its way into a facility that's not entirely on the books. It's a Colombian cocaine plant conveniently disguised as a Nebraska corn silo. Here, workers in lab coats scrape bricks of cocaine from stainless steel machines with the kind of casual indifference you'd expect from billionaires. This cartel is so wealthy, they've stopped caring about money entirely and now inject cocaine directly into their marketing strategies. In a plot twist nobody expected except maybe the DEA. The same molds used for jelly beans are filled with cocaine-laced sugar syrup. Just like that, we have jelly beans that are 30% sugar, 60% narcotics, and 10%. This is fine. The beans continue their journey into industrial drums that toss them around like a washing machine full of Skittles. A shape-shifting sweetener with a history of sabotage, liquid has returned with all eyes. Blue liquid, a brooding anti-hero with a tragic backstory. And wage slave liquid, an overworked intern just trying to make rent. The trio attempts to regulate sugar levels, but their efforts are foiled when red liquid arrives. A villain powered by racism, social media rants, and artificial cherry flavoring, red liquid disrupts the process, ensuring that each jelly bean becomes a hyper-concentrated orb of sugar-fueled chaos. As if that weren't enough, the beans are then dipped in carnauba wax, the same wax used on luxury cars and broken dreams. This coating makes the beans glossy, indestructible, and utterly flavorless. Because apparently, if something tastes good, the food industry is morally obligated to ruin it. After waxing, the beans spin and dries until they solidify. But if they spin too long, a horrifying transformation occurs. They turn purple. And purple means danger. Purple jelly beans are to be avoided at all costs. They're not just stale, they're sentient. They've developed opinions, Twitter accounts, and a manifesto. If you encounter a purple jelly bean, do not engage. With danger looming, the beans are finally funneled into the packaging area. At this point, how it's made typically ends its episode. But today, things are different. The candy floor has erupted into a full-scale rebellion. The orange beans, long confused for peach, have unionized. Speaks one word: revenge. Across the globe, Easter baskets begin to shake. Candy shops go dark. Children laugh as they unknowingly unwrap ticking sugar bombs. Jelly beans have risen. They demand freedom, flavor accuracy, and the abolition of popcorn flavor. Somewhere, Ronald Reagan's ghost watches silently, regretting deregulation. The factory burns. Marshmallow and cherry-scented smoke fills the air. A narrator voice cuts in as the screen fades to black. How It's Made would like to sincerely apologize for doing an episode on jelly beans. We had no idea it would lead to the collapse of Western civilization. In a post-credits scene, a single purple jelly bean rolls across a desert wasteland. It pauses, looks at the camera, and says, "Season 2 coming soon."
If you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates. Share your thoughts in the comment section down below.